What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. We're going to tackle a topic today I don't think we've ever tackled on BioS3 training before, and that is corrective exercises and the injuries that you get as being a bodybuilder. Now, going back, first of all, there are going to be people in your life that are truly trying to help you, like friends, acquaintances, maybe even people that are at your gym or your work. They see you doing something. They're trying to not correct you, but trying to help you, right? And I think a lot of us, the instant reaction when someone's trying to tell you to do something is like, yeah, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? At least that was my attitude for many years. And I have this friend, Manuel Buitrago, Dr. Manuel Buitrago, PhD, who is now, I believe, one half of Moss Strength, which is an Olympic lifting coaching company. And he flies all over the world and he does coaching in Olympic lifting, and that's what he does. And I remember him doing all these he called them movement preps before he did his lifts, right? He did the snatch, the clean and press, or clean and jerk. There were a few variations that they trained in the front squat. That was their main three lifts. And he would do this movement prep for about 25 minutes before the workout ever took place. And he would watch me training, and he didn't really know much about bodybuilding. I didn't really know much about Olympic lifting. But he would tell me, like, you need to do some sort of movement prep. Like, you need to do some other exercise besides the bodybuilding stuff that you're doing. Movement prep, stretching, foam rolling, you need to do all these things or you're going to have problems when you're old. And I was like, yeah, cool, all right, whatever, and I did listen to him. Of course, he is one of my closest friends, but again, you know, when someone tries to tell me something, a lot of times I just, you know, especially if I'm already focused on doing one thing, I'm like, I'll figure out later, I need to focus on this because my ADD keeps me kind of fucked up. But fast forward to the pec tear that I had, fast forward to the back problems that I've had, a lot of this stuff came about from my body constantly being slammed as a pro wrestler over and over again, and the muscles jarring and pulling. And over that time of doing that while doing bodybuilding only exercises and not dynamic exercises that help me be functional, I built up imbalances. Now, every single person who's out there who trains like a bodybuilder, all right, or if you're one of the three big, deadlift, bench press, squat, imbalances, tons of fucking imbalances. You will be great at doing a squat. And if someone asks you to move a couch, you have to hold the couch on an angle like this, and the weight's not directly above you. All those stabilizing muscles now are not strong enough. So you try to pick up this couch. You might be strong enough to get the couch off the fucking ground. What happens is, as you're holding it, the muscles start to pull and fight to compensate. You wind up getting injury doing something like moving a couch or something stupid. A lot of the injuries take place out of the gym. So fast forward to my injury that was in the gym. The pec itself, I had actually had calcification, inflammation, and calcification, inflammation, and tendonitis in this one shoulder, in the bicep tendon, which I knew was there, here and there, but I wasn't feeling it for a long time. Now, had I been doing the corrective movements, which are rotator cuff, warm-ups, you know, massage therapy, foam rolling, you know, stretching, the things that I needed to do secondary or primary before lifting, that injury might not have happened. And as far as the back injury that I had, my hip didn't rotate properly, right? So I wasn't doing proper hip stretching and stuff during leg exercises, even back exercises. Like, even when I go to do legs, I'll do my rotator cuff warm-ups now, because if I go to squat and get my arms underneath the bar to wrap that bar behind my back, those rotator cuffs take a brunt of that work too. So now we have people with imbalances because you're training a certain way for a certain sport, right? Or a certain, like, let's just say you're a power lifter, you're a bodybuilder, you're a physique athlete or something like that. You're training a specific way and you build up the imbalances which eventually give you an injury. It's just a matter of time before you get an injury, and it's probably not going to be doing the stuff that you would do in the gym because you're very adapted to that. Like, your body's very adapted, your stabilizers are adapted, everything is adapted towards doing that movement. However, you do a different movement like getting out of a car. So many times we've seen guys squat 600 pounds for fucking 10 reps. They get out of their car and tear their quad. You know, that happened to Branch Warren. He slipped on ice, tore his quad. Like, he's zero flexibility whatsoever. Why? Because as bodybuilders and bodybuilders and physique athletes, we don't take the time to do that shit. We're only concerned with putting all of our energy into gaining that next pound of muscle, putting our energy into losing that next pound of fat, doing whatever we have to do specifically for that sport, and not really worrying about when I walk down the street, if I fucking step off a curb, am I going to tear my quad? So the importance of doing these things, I can't stress enough now, especially at 42. Things are a lot different now. So when I enter the gym, the first thing I do is start warming up, which I didn't used to do, and strengthening those rotator cuffs, because your muscles, you know, and I can't stress enough the rotator cuff problems, the knee problems. The rotator cuffs are a much weaker muscle group than your pecs, your delts. They're much weaker. So what happens is those muscles on top get so strong that the stabilizing muscles that hold that shoulder in the joint no longer can keep up with them, and that's when the rotator cuff tears happen. Or you go too far in a certain range of motion, and that winds up giving you the tear. But the bottom line is, to avoid these things, you need to work those areas to adapt and be as strong and as flexible as they possibly can be so you don't get those injuries. And if you're not doing that, eventually you will build up those imbalances and eventually get an injury. I actually have an individual I'm working with right now, and he was actually having an injury problem, an issue. He goes to the chiropractor, and the chiropractor basically told him, oh, just put a belt on and keep training, you'll be fine. And I told him, I said, you need to go for a second opinion, because I've never seen a doctor say, yeah, you got this injury, and I'm not even going to check for imbalances and shit, and just sent him on his way. And I'm like, you need to be aware, even if you're a young guy, you need to be aware that you already have an injury. You're a young guy. That injury isn't just going to go away. It happened for a reason. There was an imbalance. The body compensated. You got an injury. Therefore, now we have to figure out what was that imbalance. How do we fix that imbalance? And then how do we get back to training with the same poundages while rehabbing that injury, down the road? Like, that is what takes place after that. So hopefully you guys understand now that, like, when we're younger, we're just balls out. We go in the gym and we just want to go, 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 go. And I think that's just human nature. But that first injury occurs because of an imbalance, and that's exactly why it fucking happens. The next thing you know, you're trying to work around it all the time, and you can't work efficiently. You can't be better than you were before if you're injured and out of the gym and not able to push the way that you need to push to be better. So therefore, taking care of these imbalances before they happen with a very dynamic and full routine as far as stretching, foam rolling, different accessory exercises, etc., stuff like that, and at the same time paying attention while you're training and using, don't get me wrong, using the same exercises over and over again has its place. But being aware that those exercises over and over again without the accessory exercises are absolutely going to cause an imbalance and eventually an injury. BiosTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is the blog. It's No Injury Bicep, and we are out.